Turtleford Transition High School hosted an event honoring the community and reconciliation. Students at the school built a mosaic and made a quilt with local quilters to show what it means to come together as a community.
We just wanted to talk about sense of community and acknowledge the individual stories and cultures and histories that each of our students bring to our school, because we have students from multiple communities.
Each one of us have our own piece on it, and so it's like sense of community.
The idea of the community is that it brought some of the ladies within our quilting club, so women from all ages, all walks of life, come and participated with the students in the building of it.
Students and community members attending after the speeches went from the school to plant marigolds in honor of reconciliation.
Reconciliation's a very important thing to have happen. And we have two communities so close together that we should be able to bridge some gaps that are between them. And stuff like this is really important to bridge that. I believe in the theory of circles of influence, and as mayor and as the co-op manager, to me it's my job to make sure that I can use those circles of influence to bring this stuff to spread the word. So yeah, I think it's got to come from the top. It can't be oh well, we're going to do it if it's okay. No, we got to do it.
The Lloydminster Spca has officially changed its name. Our Blake Nath has details on what this means for the organization.
Welcome everybody. I'm joined with Gabrielle Bopst-Farr from the Border Paws Animal Shelter, formerly known as the Lloydminster Spca. So we're just going to have a chat today about some of the coming changes with the organization, obviously with the name change and such. So it's very good to chat with you today, Gabrielle.
Good to be here.
Perfect. All right. So starting off, we'll just do a simple one. What was the decision behind changing the name? Like you guys have been the Lloydminster Spca for a long time. So what was the decision maker here to switch things up a bit?
I think the biggest factor was the fact that we finally got a new building. And so with a new building, we would love a fresh start because we've been in this building for so long, and it's past its time. So we're happy to get a new building, and with that, we wanted just a fresh start.
Absolutely. So, and with those changes coming, is there going to be any changes with the structure of the organization, to say, as far as, you know, the board and things like that? You know, a lot of people probably aren't privy to the inner workings of the Spca, but it is a nonprofit organization, and for that reason, there is a lot that happens behind the scenes. So, are we to assume that that's all staying the same, or will there be any changes as far as that goes?
Nope, the board should stay the same unless someone is interested in either joining the board or someone already on the board would like to step down.
Perfect. All right. So obviously it's still the same. So if anybody out there is interested, I know you guys do annual meetings every year. If you want to get involved in the organization, I won't tie you down in this interview, but certainly get in touch with the org. If you want to be involved, if you want to be on the board or volunteer, anything like that, certainly get in touch. And now, as far as actual services in the community goes, is anything going to change with that? Like, obviously, you guys are focused on rescuing and adopting out animals. Is there going to be anything that changes, anything with services, or are we to expect things to stay the same as they have been?
So our adoption process is going to stay the same. We still take in stray animals. We just wanted a name that better aligns what we do, because we aren't allowed to go out and rescue animals when they're reported to us in distress. The best we can do is just get in contact with bylaw and have them check it out, and also get in contact with the ASPCA and see if they are able to help us out in that department. But for community services, I have some things I'd like to line up so we can get a lot more community involvement. So we can get out there some more and people can learn our new name and things like that.
Perfect. All right. Well, that's certainly something to look forward to. And so just to close things off, if anybody wants to get involved in the organization, you know, actually get hands-on, help out, perhaps volunteer, how would they go about doing that?
So yeah, if you have any questions or you're interested in getting involved, you can just call the shelter. Our phone number is 780-875-2809. or you could just shoot us an email. Our email is kennel@lloydminsterspca.com, and we'd be able to direct you in whatever direction that you'd like to help in, whether that be volunteering or getting involved with the new building and stuff like that.
Perfect. There you go. And just one last thing, if anybody out there is interested in just following along with what you guys do, you know, keeping an eye, checking out the pets, things like that, are there any social media handles they should be following, any websites, things like that, just to keep an eye on what's going on?
Yeah, so our website is still Lloydminster and districtspca.com. We do also have a Facebook, an Instagram, and a TikTok. The Facebook is Lloydminster and District SPCA, and then the Instagram and the TikTok are Lloyd SPCA. We're keeping those social media handles the same just for a little while, so people are still able to find us, because a lot of people are still going to refer to us as the SPCA, which is totally fine. But we're just going to keep them the same for a little while so people can still find us.
Perfect. That sounds good. So maybe take this opportunity right now if you want to follow the organization before they change their names and their social media handles. Go follow the Lloydminster SPCA online and get tuned in there. So that's unfortunately all the time we have today, but I really want to thank you for taking time to speak with us, Gabrielle, and for updating us on the what's happenings at the new Border Paws Animal Shelter. There we go. Thank you so much.
The beginning of June marks an important time for crop farmers as many deadlines for seeding are fast approaching. Our Thomas Wildman got the rundown of the crop report for Saskatchewan.
Today, once again, we have Matt Struthers to give us the crop report of the week for Saskatchewan. So thank you so much for being with us today, Matt, once again.
No, thanks for having me.
What is new in the crop report for Saskatchewan to start off the month of June?
So now this week we're sitting at 76% of the crop now in the ground. That's up from 52% last week, but still behind the 5-year average of 93%. So still a lot of work to do. And the main progress we're seeing is obviously in the Southwest, West Central, and Northwest regions, where which has been drier. There hasn't been as many issues with delays and such, whereas in the east, like we've been saying for weeks now, they're just getting all those rains. So, and they're holding a lot of producers up.
With that percentage being lower, what are people going to have to do in order to get their crop in sooner? What is kind of that option? Are they just going to have to wait and hope and see, or is the plan to maybe have to seed when it is wetter?
There's certainly a lot of options, and it all depends on your current situation on your farm. So like a lot of producers in the east who have been delayed are taking every opportunity that they can to get into their fields. It stops raining for 2 days, it dries out a little bit, and they're getting in there and they're seeding as much as they can before it rains again. Others who just haven't had the chance to even start are investigating other ways, instead of using air drills and traditional seeding equipment. They're looking at other ways such as broadcasting seed, which is not, we don't recommend that as your first kind of way of seeding. But of course, if it's the only option you have, then it's the only avenue you might take. So there's different ways that producers can go about it. The deadlines are coming up. I urge every producer out there who's having delays and having some issues getting seed in the ground to consult with their crop insurance agency, their local office, and find out when those deadlines are and stay on top of that so you're not getting yourself in any trouble when it comes to coverage. So I think the last deadline is June 20th. So certainly there's still some time, but the clock is kind of ticking down for the kind of the window of seeding, especially because we know that since it has been raining in the past couple of weeks, it could continue to stay raining. But I looked at the forecast for much of the province in the next 3 to 5, close to 10 days, and it doesn't look like rain's on the forecast for a lot of areas. So that's very promising to see. In the east, that is, I'd hope in the west that there is some rain that comes soon.
A lot of that 76% of producers having their crop in, what kind of is the next steps for those producers, and when kind of do they need to get right back on the roll and start doing stuff once again?
I mean, producers who have finished up their seeding, they'll be out there rolling some fields if it's lentils, picking rocks and stuff like that, and then also they'll be going full tilt into their spraying operations. So in the last couple of weeks, wind has been quite an issue, so there hasn't been a whole lot of spraying before, kind of a pre-seed burn. So now they're trying to catch up and get ahead of those weeds now, and so hopefully the weather permits that. And then the same is with flea beetles. We know that we've had a few reports this past week that flea beetles across the whole province are coming out with a vengeance against little canola seedlings. So producers will be working very quickly and to get ahead of those little flea beetles and to make sure that they haven't lost too much of their crop.
Hopefully the crop report will be much more positive. We'll be back to a little bit more normal in the coming weeks. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, and I hope so too.
And now off to our Shelby Clark with a look at your weather.
Thank you so much, Miss Abby St. John. Now taking a first look at your weather forecast here in the Border City. We are sitting at 19, seeing an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Border City. Just starting off our weekend, so hopefully everybody is getting out there, enjoying it, have some outdoor activities planned at Bud Miller possibly, but definitely take advantage because we are going to see a beautiful weekend coming up here. Now switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. We are seeing past that 20 point for sure for today, so most spots are seeing around 23, 24 degrees over on the Alberta side. Up in Bonnyville, they are just seeing 22 degrees, while Marwayne is just hitting that 20 point. Switching now to our Saskatchewan side, they are seeing those 20-degree points as well, kind of matching almost close to us on the Alberta side, but probably slightly a little bit cooler. Some spots are seeing around 20, 22 degrees, as you can see for most spots. Down in Macklin, they are seeing the warmest just at 23, and over in North Battleford, they are just hitting 21. And for North Battleford, they will be cooling down to that 3 mark for their evening lows, so they will be cooling down quite a bit. We aren't quite getting those double digits just yet for our evening low temperatures, but we will be getting there. Tomorrow, they will be seeing an even warmer day at 22 for their weekend, so they will be seeing a mixture of some sun and cloud and seeing another beautiful day just in time for Saturday. Switching out to Cold Lake, they'll be cooling down to a low of 7, so they will be seeing slightly warmer temperature for their evening low, some warmer conditions. They are getting close to that 10-degree for their evening low, and then tomorrow they will be seeing 22 throughout the day, and they will be seeing a little bit more cloudier skies compared, but still a gorgeous temperature. And for us in the Border City, we will be cooling down to that 6 mark for our evening low. So we will be seeing not too bad of an evening low temperature as well. Seeing a couple clouds in sight throughout the evening. Then tomorrow we will be warming up to 22 for our Saturday. So get ready because we are seeing some gorgeous temperatures for our weekend. So hopefully everybody's got some plans. And now looking at one of your gorgeous weather shots. Thank you to everyone that submitted some beautiful weather photos to our Facebook page. You can continue to do so for next week. I will use them on my weather segments. Thank you, Craig. Craig gives some gorgeous shots every once in a while, so I love this shot. Absolutely gorgeous. Thought it was beautiful. Once again, thank you so much. And that's all I got for now. A little more coming up after the break.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals displayed plenty of action as the Boston Celtics hold a 1-0 series lead against the Golden State Warriors. Thomas Wildman and Adil Ahmed talk more about that in our NBA Finals panel.
Game 1 of the NBA playoffs has officially come to a close as the Boston Celtics beat the Golden State Warriors 120-108. Adil Ahmed is here today to talk to us about that Game 1. So Adil, what did you see in that Game 1 from both teams, especially in that fourth quarter? Certainly, I think Golden State would like to have that fourth quarter back.
Oh yeah, they would definitely love that, have that fourth quarter back, Thomas, because they got outscored so bad in that fourth quarter. 40-16 is what the score was in that fourth quarter alone. The Boston Celtics dominated the Golden State Warriors in that fourth quarter. But the thing is, give credit to the Warriors. They started out really hot in the first 2 quarters there. Steph Curry had at least 21 points in the first 2 quarters. But they also had a really good third quarter as well. But the biggest problem was the Celtics were going on runs. And they started off with a 9-0 run to start off the fourth quarter. Golden State kind of came back, kind of evened out the game. And then the Celtics went on another run, 17-0. And I think that's what happens is, like, despite Golden State being the best, you know, one of the better teams in the league in third quarters, the game doesn't end in 3 quarters. You got to win in the fourth quarter, and that's the biggest problem that Golden State lacked in. And, you know, the Celtics, give credit to them, they were hitting their shots. 5 players total on the Celtics that had double-digit points. You know, Al Horford, 26 points. Jaylen Brown, 24. Both, you know, their starters really showed up, to say the least, aside Jason Tatum, rather. But that's the biggest reason, I think, from what I've seen, is that fourth quarter run there by the Celtics really changed the outcome of the game.
All right, and so you mentioned a few of those key players on the Celtics and, of course, the Warriors not being able to finish out games. What are the key points that those teams need to work on even a little bit more going into Game 2? The Warriors, you know, they lost their first game at home. You certainly don't want to go down 2-0 in the NBA Finals and then go off back to Boston down 2-0. And then the Celtics, of course, it would be huge if they got that opportunity. So what do the Celtics need to do to keep that pressure on? And what do the Warriors need to do to change the outcome of this series?
Well, starting with the Celtics, I think they just need to keep their foot on the gas there. And I think one player that really needs to start to step it up, obviously it's his first time in the finals, Jason Tatum. You know, he took 17 shots and only got 12 points out of it. You know, despite his, you know, the rest of his teammates kind of, you know, picking up the slack and really showing a strong performance there, you know, Tatum needs to step up as well and really start to showcase, you know, what kind of a player he truly is. And, you know, he's one of the better players on the Celtics. And the Celtics just need to have that same kind of fourth quarter push again and maybe just have a better start per se. Instead of just coming up in the fourth quarter, have a better start throughout the game and just keep pushing on the gas there. As for Golden State, I think, you know, you're good in the third quarter, but you also need to be good in the fourth. And truthfully, I think if Golden State can be good in the fourth quarter there and, you know, just have a better start throughout the game as well, they'll do fine and they can even up the series no problem.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for all the insights, Adel. And so Game 2 will be taking place back in Golden State's home court in San Francisco. And so once again, thank you so much for all the insights, Adel. That's on Sunday, and we'll see you guys back for more on the NBA Finals.
For another look at your weather, here is the lovely Shelby Clark.
Thank you so much to the beautiful Miss Abby St. John. Now taking another look at your weather forecast. We're all in happy moods here, of course, because look at these gorgeous temperatures even in the central zone. On the Alberta side, we're definitely reaching past that 20-degree point with most spots seeing around 22, 23 degrees. So we are definitely warming up as we head more into the summer season. Edmonton's beating out everyone, just seeing 25, and it is over 23 in Rocky Mountain House, as well as up in Athabasca and Whitecourt is just at that 24 mark. Now switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are seeing those 20 marks as well. Slightly cooler compared to the Alberta side, but still seeing past 20 degrees. Melfort has just reached that point, while it is 21 in Prince Albert, and the rest are matching with us in the border city at 22. Now going over to our northern zone, they definitely have warmed up compared to what they have been seeing in the week, because they have been seeing those double-digit temperatures in most spots, but over in South End and Wollaston Lake, they were seeing some slightly cooler temperatures at those single-digit marks. So now we are all seeing those double digits over on the Saskatchewan side. 11 degrees in both South End and Flin Flon, while it is 14 in Wollaston Lake. 16 in Stony Rapids, while Uranium City and La Ronge are at 18, 19, so they're even almost close to 20 degrees. And La Loche and Buffalo Narrows both at 17. Switching now back to our Alberta side, as you can see, they are looking slightly warmer, seeing past 20 degrees. Fort Chipewyan is slightly cooler, just reaching 19, but still close. 24 in most spots on this side. Peace River is seeing 25 degrees, and Fort McMurray is just at 23. Now going over to our southern zone, they are seeing some slightly warmer temperatures, but slightly varies with Lethbridge and Banff, slightly cooler, seeing 15 and 18, but the rest are matching with us in the central area. Calgary is at 21, while it is 23 up in Coronation, and Medicine Hat is the warmest there at 25. And going back to our Saskatchewan side here, they are seeing those 20-degree spots as well. Slightly cooler compared to the Alberta side, but most spots are seeing quite warm temperatures. Regina is just at 19, while it is never mind, it switched up on me again there. Regina and Swift Current both at 21. It is 20 in both Yorkton and Estevan, and Moose Jaw and Kindersley are slightly warmer at 22 and 23. But now going back across the region to seeing what we will expect throughout our evening, I think we'll be quite happy temperature-wise, because even though we are seeing still those single digits in most spots across the region, we are still seeing we are slightly warming up as we get closer to the summer season. So we are getting closer to reaching those double digits for our evening lows, especially compared to what we are used to with those really low minus points. Murnum will be reaching that double digit with a low of 11 degrees. The rest will be slightly cooler. A low of 9 that Provost will be expecting, while Bonnyville will be expecting to see a low of 8. Most spots will be seeing a low of 7 degrees throughout the night. Paradise Hill and Meadow Lake will be seeing a low of 5 and 6, and Unity will be seeing the coolest with a low of 3. But I think we will be seeing some warm conditions for most places across the region throughout the evening. And ending off with our 3-day forecast for here in the border city, we will be warming up even tomorrow for Saturday at 22. So get ready. We're seeing some gorgeous temperatures for the weekend. I say have some outdoor activities planned. Go to Bud Miller Park, go outside and hang out with friends and family. Do what you can. Sunday will be ending off warmer as well at 19 there with a little bit more sun peeking behind those clouds. And then we will be continuing that warm streak into next week, as you can see on Monday. That is another look at your weather forecast. We'll have more coming up after the break.
Leah Marlene is with us today on Primetime Local News. Leah just wrapping up her turn on American Idol, finishing in the top 3. Leah, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Have you had a chance to really think about everything that happened? Just amazing things on American Idol. I mean, not only did you do so well, but you also got to perform with some great musical acts. Katy Perry, your dad was on stage for that. Do you still pinch yourself to think that, how did this happen to me?
Yeah, honestly, it feels like a fever dream, especially like coming back here. I'm like, did that ever even happen? Like, it's weird. And I think I've definitely had time to process it a lot more now that the show's been over and I've been here and just kind of like thinking about everything that's happened and where I want to go moving forward. So it's sunk in a little bit, because when you're on the show, there's no time to understand anything that's happening. So it's been nice to kind of understand what just happened in my life. The past 2 months were such a whirlwind, and it's just crazy. Yeah, I totally, like, it felt like such a dream, and it feels like such a dream looking back on it too.
So being in the top 3, Leah, does that mean that you have some obligations to American Idol still?
It's complicated. Like, there are contractual obligations once you get into the top 24, and then they can either pick you up or not. And there's like a certain amount of time to where they kind of have like dibs over you post show. So like there's my hands are kind of tied in a few ways right now. Everybody has to wait out some like contractual periods, and yeah, so.
Can you tell us anything? Is there a record deal on the horizon, or are you allowed to talk about any of that at this point?
No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say. But right now I'm doing things independently and kind of starting to try to assemble my own team. And that's kind of where we're at the moment.
I happened to see a lot of chat in your pages and just in regards to American Idol, how people would like to see you and Fritz tour together. Is that something that maybe could possibly happen?
Well, we want it so bad, but again, there's like, our hands are a little bit tied right now. We can't plan anything at the moment. We have to go through a lot of people and things first. And so, so everybody's aware that we want to make that happen. It's really a matter of like whether we'll be allowed to, and whether we're going to do it independently or through a team or like whatever. There's so much to figure out with that, but both of us in our hearts want it to happen. But we're going to see, how everything unfolds business wise. So yeah, that's the deal with that.
One of the things on the show, Leah, was your chance to go back to your hometown, which is where you are now, and do a show and have everybody turn out. Watching that was just amazing. What was that like for you, coming back and having all that support?
It was crazy. It was so crazy. I think like I knew that my town was going to show up, because throughout the whole show, like they have been so like just crazy supportive already. And so I knew it was going to be such an incredible homecoming, but I never in my wildest dreams expected the turnout that came out. And, again, when you're in the show, you're like, go, 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 go. Like there's like, it's like full speed ahead all the time. And like, I was home for like maybe 24 hours. I got to come into my house for like 30 minutes and like literally just film. I didn't come down here. I didn't go up to my room, like nothing. So it's just very, very quick. And so when I came home and like all these people were just like there, like I couldn't even I almost felt nothing, because I was just like, I couldn't compute what was happening in front of me. But I'm so glad that I have the footage from it, because now I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Now that I could like kind of understand and like wrap my head around things a little bit more, I have more space to do that. It's really insane. And I like went to my uptown yesterday for the first time since I was there for like 15,000 people there for like a concert for me. And it was just weird, like going back and being like, wow, last time I was here, the entire town was here. And there's still like so many, everywhere I go, there's yellow, like hearts and windows and around mailboxes and signs of me in people's front yards and like, good luck, Leah, or we love you, Leah, like everywhere. It's so weird to be back and like see all the fallout.
It must have been fun to have your family as part of the show too. I saw your mom and your brother and your dad throughout various parts of the whole entire show. That must have been kind of cool, especially with so much going on, that they actually got a couple times where they could come and see you, albeit for a few minutes or however long it was, but still must have been really nice to have that as part of the show too.
Yeah, that was the best. I mean, I didn't know how much they were going to be able to come see me because it's expensive to, fly out there, get a hotel room and stuff. But I'm so grateful for how often we were able to make it work. Like I had family at most of the live shows, especially as it went on. And I'm so grateful for that because it's such a once in a lifetime experience. And both my mom and my dad ended up getting to like see my trailer, which is like pretty much where I spent my entire existence for like 2 months. And just to be able to like show them what I'm doing, what it's actually like behind the scenes, and like for them to be able to be there in person and understand like the moment to moment of American Idol was just like, it was so awesome.
Well, Leah, I know you said you can't say too much, but can you give us a little bit of a hint of some of the things that you are working on right now while you're waiting to get things organized?
Yeah, so again, I'm still sorting out a lot of stuff, and there's a lot that I can't have any definitive answers on for a bit. But my main priority this year is just to write like crazy, and I'll definitely be putting out like another project probably by this time next year. So that's kind of the main priority, is like writing the best music I've ever written. But I'm hoping to I'm definitely going to be playing some shows, but I'm hoping to go on a little tour, and that's about it. Like it's really going to be a lot of behind the scenes work in assembling a team and not rushing things if they're not right, like really like just doing things the right way and setting myself up for a long career and a very strong team moving forward. So it might not be as much external stuff as you've seen of me in like the past 4 months, but it's because I really want to build that solid foundation so that when I'm ready to really launch this on my own, like we're going to be ready. So that's where I'm at.
Well, Leah, thanks for talking to us and for speaking with us throughout the whole Idol experience. I know you were so busy, and you take time to speak with us just even on your days off. So we appreciate it. We will continue to follow your career, and we wish you the best. Thanks again for chatting today.
Thank you so much for supporting me since way before Idol. And I'm so glad that we still get to talk throughout this entire journey. So thank you.
This is what's happening in Lloydminster and the Midwest this weekend. Well, June is officially and unofficially the start of summer, and this weekend it is definitely going to start feeling like it. And there is so much going on throughout the Midwest, and there's truly something for everyone. Now, kicking off the weekend this Saturday, the Lloydminster Airport is expected to host an upwards of 45 aircraft during the Alberta Air Tour's first stop of its provincial summer tour this Saturday, June 4th. Now, it's open to everyone, and the Alberta Air Tour will be in Lloydminster from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., and the aircraft will arrive between 7:30 and 8:30. Now, if you want to watch the aircrafts land as they come in, you are encouraged to show up a little bit earlier than 7:30, and the 186 Lloydminster Air Cadet Squadron will be on hand with a free pancake breakfast starting at 8. It is first come, first serve. Now, coming in after that, the annual Health Foundation Gala is one of Lloydminster's community's favorite events of the year. And it's back at the Lloyd X grounds this Saturday night, and it is going to be truly magical. It's the 20th annual Lloydminster Region Health Foundation's Gala, and it's a night of enchantment. That is the theme, and it's going to be a beautiful night of themed entertainment, menu items, cocktails, auction items, and so much more. You are not going to want to miss out on this. They are inviting you to the 20th Annual Health Foundation Gala on June 4th. This Saturday, it starts at 4:30. Tickets, tables, and more information can be found at lrhf.ca. Happening all weekend at the Lloyd X grounds is the 4-H Expo. It starts on Saturday, so from June 4th to the 6th, this major regional 4-H show brings together more than 250 4-H members to showcase their projects for the year. These include heifer, steer, cow, calf, light horses, and multiple projects. The Monday of this event features the steer sale. For more information, please visit lloydx.com. Now coming in on Sunday at the Vic Juba Community Theatre, you've seen the movie Bohemian Rhapsody and you loved it. So now see it all come to life on stage in concert with big sound, big screens, crazy lighting, and outlandish costumes. The Real Rock Experience at the Vic Juba Community Theatre this Sunday, June 5th. It is Australia's Queen. It's a kind of magic. It's back, it's popular, by demand this summer for their first Canadian national tour in 4 years, right here in Lloydminster. You can't miss out on this. So this show is set to immerse you in the spectacle, the grandeur, the extravagance of Queen and Freddie Mercury with an incredible new star, Dominic Warren. Get ready for a night of non-stop rock anthems, including We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Radio Gaga, Somebody to Love, Another One Bites the Dust, Bohemian Rhapsody, and so many more classic hits by Queen. For more information and tickets, you can visit vicjubatheatre.ca. Also on Sunday is the Lloydminster LGBTQ+ Pride Week. It is starting on Sunday and it starts at noon with the Pride Walk at Synovus Energy and Pride in the Park right after, and you are more than invited. Love and life under the rainbow is on full display in Border City for the full week next week. So this week is going to feature several events of LGBTQ+ friendship and solidarity, as well as being a place to celebrate everyone living their authentic lives, feeling happy and loved in all aspects of who they are, and showing our community that we stand together and we support everyone for who they are. This year is going to feature a family movie night, drag bingo shows, a pride prom, and, Slay the Night drag show. Now for more details and a full schedule, it can all be found on the LGBTQ+ Society's event page on Facebook. With what's happening in Lloydminster, I'm Sarah Scott. Hope to see you out there.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us for this week's entertainment panel is the lovely Abby St. John, as always. So glad to have you in studio to speak with us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Of course. Now we got some interesting topics on the go. I say that every week, I know.
Yes.
The first one is
actually interesting.
Yeah, the first one is actually interesting. We got Winnie the Pooh horror movie. It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was a little bit shocked about this one when we first saw like some photos that were revealed and everything. So a lot of people online saw these photos getting posted and seeing this new adaptation of Winnie the Pooh, and I think everybody's really interested to see what this one's all about. Seems like there's also some Christopher Robin that's involved in it and everything, but interesting to see what else is going to come out on this, because I never thought they would make a horror movie out of a beloved childhood character.
Yeah. This came after Winnie the Pooh was put into the public domain earlier this year. At the beginning of this year, it was put into public domain, so that means that it's free to use for whatever. You can change it, do whatever you want. You know, it's like The Wizard of Oz. That's also in the public domain. It's been remade so many different ways, so many different times. So that's just what it means. And Winnie the Pooh was first put in at the beginning of this year, and they really jumped on this. You know, they really did. Yes, the movie is called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's a slasher movie following Winnie the Pooh and Piglet as they go on a rampage. Now, this is after Christopher Robin, who is college bound. He neglects them and he stops feeding them, so they start to resort back to their animal ways.
Ah, that's so scary.
And they go on a rampage, and because they become feral, so they're now on a hunt for food. And who are their food? the people they find.
Of course,
so
it's people.
it's going to be really interesting to see. This movie was filmed in 10 days. It is not Hollywood quality film. They said that from the start. This is not going to be a Oscar-winning horror movie. It is very low budget. They didn't say the budget hasn't been released, but it was filmed in a very short amount of time, and they're rushing to get it edited, to get it released. There's no release date yet. I think it's going to be good in the sense that it's super bad, but you're going to want to watch it, and you're going to enjoy watching it. It's going to be that kind of film. It's not going to be a Hollywood classic by any means.
Yeah, from the photos, that's kind of shocking, because even sometimes in the photos, they actually do kind of look like they're a little bit more normal budgeted, I guess. Like, they don't look too bad to me. Like, they kind of do look like a classic slasher movie, which is kind of funny. But I think you're right. It's not going to be Oscar worthy.
No.
But I think a lot of people are almost going to love how dumb it might be.
And how bad it is.
And
it's
how,
going to
like,
be
cliche.
a very good, bad movie.
Yeah, literally
and
how, like, cliche slasher, but then it's, like, also, like, your childhood character.
And you know people are going to watch it because it is Winnie the Pooh, and it's different, it's very, very different. We've never had a Winnie the Pooh horror movie before. Didn't think it was ever going to happen, but it will be coming out.
Yeah, we were going to talk about this earlier. One of our other coworkers was saying, thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, actually, I guess it's real. So it's going to be interesting. I'm glad we were able to speak on this and be able to just kind of help get the word out there. So we'll see what else comes out in the future.
Yeah.
But now moving on to some a little bit more high budgeted, I guess. Of course, Miss Marvel, and this is going to be coming out June 8th. It's supposed to be on Disney Plus streaming. Really excited about this, the new series coming out. And not only that, it's got some great Muslim representation on screen. And I think that's going to be really cool to be able to see this. It's about this American teenager, and she's supposed to be also like a superhero mega fan. The trailer's really cute as well, so kind of like hearing the song that was on it as well. It gets stuck in my head every time I watch this trailer. But it looks interesting. It almost has like a comic book style to it as well.
Yeah, the trailer definitely gave that comic book with the text bubbles, and it gave that kind of feel. This feels like a coming of age, kind of similar to Hawkeye. Kamala Khan, who is Miss Marvel, she's a huge Captain Marvel fan. She has posters, she has a costume, she loves Captain Marvel. And, she gets picked on because of it. People tease her. There's a girl in the trailer who makes fun of her for wearing an Avengers shirt. And so this is definitely that coming of age, kind of figuring out who she wants to be and where she wants to go in her life. She's really struggling with that in the trailer. So I think that's going to be a big theme all around. It shows that she finds a bracelet that gives her Captain Marvel's powers. So obviously she's going to take advantage of that. And I think it also gives a hint that she's kind of biting off more than she can chew. But I feel like in the end, she's going to persevere through that, kind of how how the Hawkeye series went with Kate Bishop. She kind of, she realized over time that she really just bit off more than she can chew, but she didn't let that stop her. She did go full force into it, and I think that's what we can expect from this one. I am very excited for this. I think it's really interesting, and like you said, we have the Muslim representation. In the trailer, she does say, brown girls aren't superheroes, but we're seeing that right now, and I think that's really important. And I am very excited about it because Captain Marvel's powers are so cool, so sick. She's the most powerful being in the universe.
Could literally smash through ships in one go and everything. It's like,
so
all right.
Seeing this in a kid version, I think is going to be fantastic. And of course, we're going to see her in the Marvels as well for the second Captain Marvel movie. So we're going to see her on the big screen as well. I have great hopes for this series. I'm very excited for it. June 8th, so it's coming up very, very soon, next week.
Literally.
Very excited for it.
I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. Some people are online, you could see they're kind of questioning it, like some are kind of judging it almost in a way, thinking it doesn't look as like they look childish or something. But I don't know, I think it's going to surprise a lot of people, and it's just got a colorful look to it to me. And of course she's like younger, so it's not going to be as more adult themed, but I think we are going to get more of kind of like that feel once you watch it and see like everything she goes through. So I'm excited to see it as well. So I think everyone's going to be ready to check that out on June 8th.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely will.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Of course. Thank you. That's all the time we have for this hour of Primetime Local News. Stay tuned. We'll be back in the next hour.